Hey there, welcome back to Marketing Matchmaker. I'm super excited about today's topic, although a lot of you out there might not be. And I will tell you, we're having this conversation for your own good. So today I have Morgan Anderson on with me. She's actually the founder of Golden Lion Tax Solutions. And yes, I know, my friends, none of you want to think about money and your numbers, and we're gonna do it anyway. Morgan, introduce yourself to the audience. Tell them who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Thanks, Jennifer. Hi, I'm Morgan Anderson, as Jennifer said, and gave me this warm, wonderful introduction and gave you that warning flag, right? We're going to talk about something that may be a little uncomfortable, but if you are in business for yourself, this is going to be a great conversation for you to listen to. We promise not to bore you. Um, but I've been in the tax world for 25 years. And I specifically just handle tax debt. So, for all of you who are self-employed, think about the people who don't pay the estimated tax payments throughout the year. If you are selling a product and you're collecting sales tax and you haven't been able to pay it over to the government, or you have employees, you take taxes out of their paycheck and those taxes haven't made its way to the IRS or the state. I then step between you and the government and negotiate a solution. So I have been exposed to thousands of businesses over the years. And what Jennifer and I want to talk about with you today is how to prevent that situation from coming about, right? Taking control and taking that power position with you, your business, and your finances. So you don't end up having to call me and saying, I've got a problem with my state or with with the IRS.
Yeah, I love that because, we were having a little bit of a conversation before we hit record, and we were talking about when I first started my business, right? One of the reasons I harp so much on knowing your numbers, whether it's marketing numbers or your financials, is because of my own experience. I didn't know what I didn't know about my financials, which ended up losing me. I'm gonna be honest here, probably about 100 grand
Yeah.
over, which is probably cheap, honestly, in comparison to some other people, but still, that's a lot of money. So I know people have a lot of emotions around
Hmm.
money and their financials.
Yes, absolutely. And it's very easy to get intimidated, anxious, and shut down, right? And when you do that, you lose the power position over you, your business, and your finances. So even though to some of us it feels like shoving bamboo shoots under our fingernails, right? It's torture. But if you're going to be self-employed, you have to say, okay, you know what? This is an area that I can't ignore. If I do, it costs me money. And that's not why we're in business. We're in business
Yeah.
to make money. We're in business to grow. So as much as it may be the least attractive thing for you to apply your time to every day or every week, that's usually a sign that it's the thing that you need to put as a priority every day and
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah. So one of the things that you said prior to the starting is to use your bookkeeper almost like your priest. Let's talk about that
Yes.
because I love that perspective.
Yeah, a lot of the clients who have come to me is just because they weren't working with somebody who is a professional who knows warning flags with missteps that business owners can make. I will tell you, even if you are just self-employed and you are a one-man show and you are struggling to bring in 5,000 in sales every month, paying $200 to a qualified bookkeeper who knows what they're doing that you can have conversations with is worth its weight in gold. All of us as business owners, there's a point when you're starting out and you're like, I can't put money to anything that isn't an absolute necessity.
Yeah.
Think of your bookkeeper and I would say take it even a step further. Find a good CPA or enrolled agent, accounting professional that you can think of as a member of your board. Every time you're thinking about making a shift with your business financially, something that will impact it, cost money upfront, but could bring great income in, sit down and talk to these people. Talk to your bookkeeper, talk to your accountant or CPA, enrolled agent, whomever it is that you trust, that you can forge a good relationship to, because they're going to be able to take the experience they've had with other business owners and apply it to your business. Hey, I had a client who wanted to purchase Google ads. They spent thousands of dollars and netted nothing. So I would say let's take caution before we make that move. Or I had a client who went this way with marketing and it worked really well. Let's talk about what you're seeing, what you're thinking about. I mean, these people, they deal with businesses all day long. So why not invest in them to help you? Because they're going to apply everything they've learned from these other businesses to help you.
I love that perspective because I think a lot of people put their finances last. They wait till the
Yes.
end of the year to even
Hmm.
look at it.
Oh, yes.
What happens when they do that?
So I was just at a conference on Monday and I was with a bunch of other tax professionals in Utah, and the presenter was from Iowa. He's been on the talking circuit in the tax world. And he was talking about employing better practices of communication with our clients throughout the year. And he said, what is the number one makes your skin crawl, nails on a chalkboard type of client that you have? And we call them the shoebox client, right?
Yes, ma'am.
They typically show up if it's a self-employed person who has like a family and they do their business on the Schedule C. They show up mid-March with a shoebox of receipts and hand it to their tax professional and say, here's everything from last year. That guarantees you to have a rush job done. Not everything is included. They have no way of reconciling what you're giving them. And yeah, we all laugh about the shoebox client. The best thing you can do is every quarter meet with your tax professional, have the records to them, and say, okay, here's where I am in first quarter. Because where you are in first quarter of the year versus where you end up in fourth quarter could be night and day.
Absolutely.
And you need to get with them throughout the year so you can make appropriate tax strategy pivots throughout the year to adjust for those changes in your business.
I love that perspective. I know um, that happens so often, right? People,
Yeah.
because they're afraid of their numbers or they're afraid to look, that they wait too long. And quite honestly, it actually costs you more money when you go to them at the end of the year with your shoebox.
Yeah, it does. It does. And it just, there's no way you can have everything representative of your business in a shoebox. It just, it's, our world has changed. Everything is digital now. And because it's digital, it makes it so much easier to track.
Yeah. Yeah. My youngest son actually started his own business this year, and that was one of the things that I was like, use everything on your debit card, and
Hmm.
then file everything into your cloud so
Yes.
that you can track it easier. Otherwise, he
Yes.
would have ended up with the shoebox. Like that's the kind that's the kind of
Oh,
business
yeah.
he usually is. So I love this perspective of really being able to look at your numbers quarterly.
Mhm.
And like what is it that what's the number one tip that you would give the audience, especially if anyone has tax debt out there?
Oh, first things first, don't be afraid of it. When you're afraid of something, you give it power over you, right? I mean, that's just a general fact of life. But if you're getting notices, I call them love notes from the IRS or the state, so many people say, I don't even know what to do with this, and they put it at the back of a drawer and they try to
Oof.
forget about it.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be sitting there in your mind until you open it up and see what it is. Don't give power to it that it doesn't deserve. Yeah, it could be a bill. Yeah, you may have to deal with it. But if you don't, it starts snowballing. They add penalties and interest. And what could have been just a simple, like let's say most notices that you'll get from the IRS, if you don't have a bill and you get a notice from the IRS, it's because they found a discrepancy on your tax return.
Right.
Okay. And they will say, if you open it and read it, they'll say, hey, we reviewed your tax return. We think there's something missing, or there was something miscalculated, or there's something that you claim that we're not sure you're able to claim. If you just address it right away, 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, okay, great, thanks. And that's the last you hear. But when you don't respond, they always think the worst. And when that happens, then they'll assess tax that you probably don't owe. They're going to assess an accuracy penalty up to 25% of that discrepancy. And then you're going to start accruing interest on that balance. Interest rates right now are 8%.
Oof.
That's a lot of money,
Yeah.
right? So don't be afraid. Here's another bit that I want you all to remember is no matter what the tax situation is, there's always a solution. Always. You just have to say, okay, what is it that I need to look at so I can solve it? So,
I love that. I know you have a book out there which is exactly that. The tax debt rule number one, there is always a solution. So
yes.
for those that out there that might have tax debt,
Mhm.
what's the best way for them to reach out to you? How do they find you?
You can find me really easy. We have a website, goldenliontaxsolutions.com. Think of a big, fierce lion standing in front of you, right? That's us. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. Just Google me. You'll be able to find us all over the place. Call
Okay.
me. My email address is on our website. My direct number is on our website. I'm happy to give anybody guidance. 9 times out of 10, when people reach out to me, I say, you don't need me. You just need some pointed steps in some direction. You can handle this yourself. And but for those who do need us, we're here for you. We've been doing it for 25 years.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to have all of Morgan's contact information in the show notes. If you have tax debt, reach out to her.
Mhm.
If you haven't done your numbers yet, it's time to start doing them, to be brave and start looking at that. Find a bookkeeper, find a CPA, find those people that can be your priest that you can talk to on a regular basis. And if you are out there right now and you're struggling to know what to do first or next in your marketing, head over to yourmarketingmatchmaker.com. Sign up for a free strategy session. I promise you will walk away with at least one actionable item that will help you grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact. Until next time, get out there and make sure that your taxes are in line and that your marketing is working. Thank you for listening to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear your feedback. Please head over to Apple, iTunes, and leave a review so we can hear from you. And if you are a coach, consultant, or online course creator who are looking to grow your business, increase your income, and scale your impact, connect with me at yourmarketingmatchmaker.com. I look forward to hearing from you.